Hello, my name is Eric and I'm with PowerBoom, and I'm here to show you the 12Q firing system, which is the P12 firing system. And we're going to review the system. We want to show you the basic uses of the 12Q firing system. So when you order this online, and you can order these on our website, it's going to go ahead and come with a case. And inside the case, when you open it up, which is nice, again, the case is nice because it gives it storage. The case itself is pretty nice because it has this foam padding in here to protect it, the electronics in here. So it comes with foam padding, case, then it has this little plastic thing here just to kind of keep everything tucked in. And when you order from PowerBoom, it should look very similar to this. It's going to go ahead and come with a remote, a 12Q remote. Okay, so it comes with a remote. I'll lay this to the side here. And it's go ahead and come with the 3 modules. On each module, you're going to see 4 Qs, so 1 through 12 on here. So each Q, there's 12 Qs, excuse me. It'll also come with a battery, and it will come also with a testing LED to kind of get you up and running to kind of start playing with your system here. It is a wireless system, and it runs on batteries. Now the A23 batteries we just mentioned here, it will come with a battery. I've actually loaded one here already, so we'll slide this out of the way. But it has a battery in here, an A23. Alright, and it also will require 12 AA batteries. We would want you to use a good brand of batteries, alkaline of course. So you're going to need 12 AA batteries for that guy. And we've actually already loaded these in here. So again, it's not going to come with it will come with an A23 battery. It will come with one of these already, so you don't have to worry about buying one of those. I've seen them at AutoZone. You can buy them online as well, Amazon or different various websites, I'm sure. They're actually a pretty common battery, believe it or not. But your AA, you're going to have to purchase those in Costco or Sam's Club or somewhere. Obviously, you know where to get AA batteries. Okay? So we're going to slide the case out of the way, and we're just going to show you some basic uses of the system. So if we can get these out of the way here. And we'll keep everything in order for you. So, slide the case. We'll put 1 through 4 here. Testing LEDs all set up. And then we'll just line these guys up like this so you can see these here. And then we have the remote. Now, how do you use a firing system? Well, it's pretty straightforward. Of course, a firing system, I think most of you know that firing system is so you no longer have to worry about hand lighting. And it gives safety for your show because you can be, several hundred feet away from your fireworks, from your cakes and your shells and whatnot. And also one of my favorite benefits about e-firing is you can actually enjoy your show. It actually makes your show a little more professional. So you have not only you have safety, but you have an opportunity to view your show. I would take it back. I would say number one thing is probably for safety for e-firing. Okay, e-firing just means electronic firing. So again, we have a wireless system. It's all hooked up. What I like about this particular model is they've done a good job of upgrading these. The designers have. And what we have here is we have our nice little remote. It has an on-off switch, and it's already labeled. Okay, and ours is off and on, pretty straightforward. There's no indicator to tell whether it's on or off, just the switch itself. But it's a nice little feature, so you don't have to worry about bumping into it or something like that. Other models, they don't have an on-off switch like the one we sell, the P12S, doesn't have an on-off switch. And then again, what I like about these individual modules is they're small and they're great coloring on the lighting, nice labels here. And I like instead of a rocker switch, I like how they've done this more of a toggle switch, if you will. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this guy on. And when I turn it on, you're actually not going to see a whole lot. What you're going to see here is the on light. And what happens when I on light LED right here. And this actually is also a low battery indicator as well, as far as that goes. Now, I don't know if you can see it on the video or not, but there's none of these LEDs are on. Well, number one is it's actually green. That's because I have a continuity check, and a continuity check is simply meaning that there's voltage going through this Q number 1 right here, and its voltage is going through, and that means we have continuity. That means it's good and it's ready to fire, and you could probably see the LED is on. So the reason we have a testing LED is so you don't burn up your igniters already, so you can do some testing and things like that. So these are multiple use. You can use them over and over again, whereas a red dragon. Sometimes people call them Talon igniters, or some people use what's called E-match. And just keep in mind, if you use E-match, if you buy E-matches, you probably want to buy them blank unless you have a Type 54 or similar license to buy those. So let's take a look actually at the different type of igniters. This is actually what's called a blank E-match right here. And you can purchase these on our website, but you do what's called a dip kit, and you can make those. And you actually is legal to do that in the United States. However, if you pre-buy them with like the red cap on here, that's called an E-match. And what's nice about these is they have an instant fire. They kind of like pop like a cap gun. And so again, this is called an electronic match, or sometimes more specifically we call them E-matches on this guy. And you can use these on the system here, no problem. But we're not going to mess with these today. Obviously we don't have any E-matches here, but this is a blank E-match. The other one I want to show you is we sell these on our website. This is a more common one that people use to have a license or anything. This is just a 3 meter, so it's about 9 feet long, and it's a Talon igniter, or red dragon. Sometimes we call them red dragons, but Talon, they're pretty much the same. They're exactly the same thing. You probably can't see it in the video, but you would stick your fuse in here, and there's a little wire, a nichrome wire, that actually will heat up and will light your fuse. So there's a short delay, and we'll demonstrate that in the video. So let's go ahead and hook this guy up, and what we'll do is hook it up. So we'll leave this on here just for testing purposes, and I'm going to hook up this to Q number 4. It's on. It's okay to have it on. You probably want to turn it off, I suppose, but not a huge deal. We'll hook it up. So bear with me as I get my fingers nimble. What I love about this, look at that bright green light. Continuity, this bad boy on module number 1 Q4 is ready to go. It is ready to fire. Alright, we'll turn the other ones on too, just to kick them on, and we'll do some testing with those. So I want to be careful not to make sure I hit 4 just yet. So we have our remote. Let's go ahead and turn it on, and we are ready to do a test fire. Let's go ahead and do let's get these straight here. Let's do number 12. So when I hit 12 on the remote, you're going to see this blink, and it should light it. And you can see the light comes on. What I like about these units, notice how 12, when you click it, it stays on for a moment. Let's do Q number 1 on module to do our test. We can do this multiple times. So if you can see that okay, hit 1, and notice how the LED comes on. It is heating up that thing. I'm getting ready to light. So that is Q number 1 on module 1. We'll do it again, and you can just do some testing with that. And again, this system will come with one for you to play with. Okay. Now, some other things. So it's as far as using this goes, the range on this, pretty good range. If I'm not mistaken, it's several hundred feet. I don't know off the top of my head exactly what it is, but I know it can go several hundred feet. I think it's at least 300 feet. I'm pretty positive it's a lot longer than that. Maybe even upwards of 900 feet. I'll need to do some testing on that. When you got any questions specifically about range, I can do some research on that. But it should be just fine. Nice little going back to the remote. I just like the way it feels on your hand. It almost feels ergonomic. They've done a good job with it. On-off switch, like we've already mentioned. So when you're doing your show, you just press the cues, and we'll play around. We'll just mess with 5 through 8. We'll just do 5, 6, and if you notice, I'm actually overlapping some, which is a really nice feature. So if you wanted to hurry up and do some manual firing, you can quickly, it responds very quickly, and you don't have to wait. Some systems, like the other ones I've seen, where you hit 9 and then you hit 12, it actually 12 wouldn't go off because it's waiting to finish that signal. So that's a pretty cool feature about this P12 system. Okay, now as far as 2 types of firing besides the one we've talked to, so I should say 3 total. You have manual fire, which you would just press the buttons on the remote and at your timing for your show. You have a couple other ones, which is called off fire. You wouldn't generally use this for the beginning of your show or during the middle of your show, I would think off fire may be reserved for some type of special effect, or even, when I say special effect, possibly your grand finale. Of course, there's numerous possibilities. Maybe you had a bunch, 12 mines you wanted to go off at once or something like that. You would press all fire. All fire means all cues go off. Now I'm not going to press all fire because I don't want my 4 to go off just yet. We'll hit the, actually, I'll tell you what, let's backtrack a little bit. Let's go ahead and do Q4 and watch the nichrome. I'm going to open it up. It should be fine. I'll hit 4 and watch this thing light up. So I'll hit 4 and watch what happens to the green light. So here we go, 4. And if you notice, that little wire heated up, it burned, hit the fuse, it would have lit the fuse. Check this out. 4 is done. It's expired. It's gone. One-time use right here. Great little item now. Fabulous. Little red dragon here. Let's go ahead and go back to all fire. All of our systems are on. LEDs, you can't see them in the video, I believe, but all of them are on. Our battery lights are on up here. I'm going to do all fire, and you should be able to see it pretty good in the video. 11 and 12. Oops, I lied. Hold on. 11 and 12 is actually a sequence fire. I apologize, I wrote it down wrong in my notes. So 11 and 12 is what's called a sequence fire. So when I hit 11 and 12 at the same time, a sequence fire is about a half-second delay, and it's going to go boom, boom, boom. It's just going to fire those, and watch, you'll see it again. Let me hit 11 and 12. Again, I apologize about that. It's going across, and you can see it finish up at 12. Let me hit the LED so you can see it as well. Let's do it one more time. 11 and 12. That is called a sequence fire. A sequence fire is where the cues go off. You cannot program these. It's just 1 through 12. That is it. You can't change it at all. Okay? Now, let's go back to what I said before I messed up in my note taking. If I want to do all fire, that is going to be 1 and 12 at the same time. So they're kind of spread out, which is nice. Now, all fire, so 1 and 12. And if you noticed, all of them went off. Pretty cool little effect about that remote. I don't know if I've ever used all fire or sequence fire. I've never had a need for it in my shows. I just personally use them. But I wanted to throw those out there, let you know their options. So some cool little things about that. Now, I do want to mention this as well about this system. Is these are programmable. In other words, if you wanted to change these around, I'm not going to get into details of that as far as programming. Like, for example, if you wanted to hit like 1, you could alter it to use different fuse. I believe you can actually do, if I hit 1, you can program to fire off more. I don't want to get into too much of that right now. I want to keep this video quite simple. I do want to mention this though. These particular units from the P12 are actually compatible with our control desk. It's a new unit that we have for 2014, and this control desk is pretty cool. If you can see it okay, it actually controls up to 1,200 channels. What that means is 1,200 cues. So you could have a whole lot of these, and you could have one big fancy show, and you can just change it with this particular unit here. The purpose of this demonstration is not to show you the control desk, but show you that this system is compatible with this, and the range on this is phenomenal. It's like 900 feet or 1,000 feet. Great range. It runs on batteries. This is an excellent system. So if you buy this, you can always think about the future of expanding, and you can use a control desk. Again, 1,200 cues, which is a whole lot of cues, so you can do a whole lot with that as far as that goes. We've already mentioned the Red Dragon and towel igniters, so you can purchase those on our website to go with the system. Keep in mind those are one-time use. Now, as far as some safety features, some uses of this particular P12 system, is we want to talk about range of the system. As far as we already talked about range. When I would say distance from the module to your cake, I would say because these are wireless, okay, you want to really just keep this bank of 4 cues pretty close to your system. To your fireworks, pretty close. I would say, 10, 15 feet. I like to keep numbers conservative. Obviously, you can go much further than that if you want to experiment. The reason why is because the longer you get away from your module to your fireworks, is you're going to have possibly problems because the voltage is going to decrease. I am not an electrical engineer, but if you wanted to mess with and do some testing, you could maybe play around with your testing LEDs. But I would recommend, if you're not too familiar with the distance as far as that or comfortable, I would keep it within 15-20 feet as far as that goes. Okay, so another thing I like to do with these particular, notice how this is nice and white. If I put this out on the field and I have a show, it's going to have debris over this, and we call that fallout. And it shouldn't be any problem, but if you want to get some Ziploc sandwich bags, the reason I like that is because they're clear and see through them. You can put the Ziploc bag over it, and you can actually punch a hole through the Ziploc. Just let the Ziploc bag just punch through here and cover this up. And it doesn't really need to worry about breathing or anything like that. It's not a big deal if it's contained. You don't even have to Ziploc the bag completely on the end. But what it does is give it a covering, and that'll keep the fallout. Just keep it clean. Very minor, but just a little tip for you as well. As far as when you hook up the Nichromo little Red Dragon igniters on these guys, you just want to make sure you hook this onto your fuse and you want to set it. Be real careful not to kick the wire around. You want to tape this onto your cake or your shells if possible. You don't really want this thing to move, because if you do, that wire is so thin in there, if it moves it's going to break. So you kind of want to have the set it and forget it mentality as far as that goes, okay? So, of course, you have any questions about the P12 system, shoot me off an email. Hopefully this gives you a basic idea about e-firing in this particular system. They've done, like I said, they've done a great job of upgrading them this year. They're a great little system. I use them for my show personally, and I have had 100% success with them. I just love these little systems. So thanks a lot for watching, and have a great day.